Hi, and welcome back to the Rubber Room. My name's Chris Colley, and it's a Watch It Wednesday here in the Rubber Room. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and today I'm going to share with you how to make some pretty little boxes to package your Tealights in. If you remember, and were here last week for Watch It Wednesday, I showed you how to stamp onto your Tealights. I did use the jumbo Tealights in that video, and in today's video I've used the regular size or mini Tealights, and for these Tealights, when I stamped them, I did stamp onto my tissue paper, and then I used my 1 3/8 circle punch to punch out the tissue paper, and then I simply heated it with my heat tool to get it to melt into the top of the Tealight. And you can go back and refer to that video. It is the absolutely same technique that I used for this video. So today what we're going to start with is I'm actually going to show you how to package two different ways. So this first one is a little 3-pack that I have done of Tealights, and I stamped these with the Elements of Style stamp and then colored it in. And I also will be sharing with you a box that will hold 4 of the Tealights in it. And this particular one, I used the Got Treats stamp set and used the gingerbread man from that stamp set. So to get started, I'll go through with you the box of 3 Tealights. And your template for that is going to be 5 7/8 inches long and 2 5/8 inches wide. I did take that and scored a 1/2 inch all the way around, and these dotted lines are the score lines. The solid lines are where I have cut. And so I just, again, it's 5 7/8 inches by 2 5/8 inches, and I then scored it a 1/2 inch on all 4 sides. You will be, when you make this box, I've done mine in some rich raspberry cardstock, and my cardstock looks like this, but because it's a little difficult to show you with this one, I'm actually going to be cutting on this white piece of cardstock so you can see what I'm going to do. I'm going to actually take it and cut on my score line just a 1/2 inch up to my other score line. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these little edge pieces and just trim a little corner tip off there. And that'll make it nice and smooth for me when I go to put my box together. So I'm going to cut that on both ends, again, right up to my 1/2 inch score line. And then cut at a little angle on the corner where I'm going to fold it in. And then what I'm going to do is to place some sticky strip along all of those spots. And here's a little tip I'll share with you when I use my sticky strip. I'm going to take a piece of just a paper plate. You can use any kind of scrap material. And this shiny stuff that's posted on here is just a piece of packing tape that I have taped to the top of my plate. And I also have put a little piece of sticky strip that I'm just hanging off the side here of this plate. And I do this when I'm using a lot of sticky strip for my projects. So what I'm going to do then is just cut a small piece off my sticky strip, and I'm going to place it right on this little tab that I've cut, just in the center like that, of that little tab that's cut there. Then I'm going to fold my box on all of my score lines. I will put sticky strip in all 4 corners of it, but so you don't have to watch me stick my sticky strip on for 5 minutes here. I'm going to take my paper piercing tool and just place it right underneath that pink little edge of my sticky strip backing. That'll peel the back right off there so it doesn't stick to my hands, and then I'm going to stick it right into my little mailing tape there, and it will stick to that. so then I don't have these little pieces flying all over and getting caught on my fingers and everything else. So that's just a little tip for you there. Once you get your sticky strip on there, we're just going to fold it up and place your box right along the edge of it and stick that tab down. So you have a nice little edge there where it's all taped up. And again, what yours is going to look like is this. It will be in, obviously, whatever color you're going to make your box in, but it will be scored at a 1/2 inch all the way in, and all of your little tabs will have some sticky strip tape on them. And for the edge of my candle, I wanted it to, I'm going to get it down there so everybody can see. I've got the rich raspberry paper, and that is a 5 by 1/2, I'm sorry, a 5 inch by 1/2 inch strip of paper. I have put it through my square lattice embossing folder and my Big Shot machine. I think this just gives a little more professional finished kind of look to my tea lights, so I did add it to all of them. And again, this is a 5 inch by 1/2 inch strip of paper, and I'm going to adhere that to my candle. So I'm going to take my little 5 inch strip of paper, and I'm going to put a little bit of sticky strip on one end of my paper. So I'm just going to push my sticky strip down there, and then I'm going to peel off my protective backing there. And I have taken another sticky strip piece and added it to the edge of my tea light. I'm going to line this, take the backing off of there, and line this right up to the edge. And stick it down with my sticky strip, and then I'm just going to roll this piece all the way around my candle and stick it back on with the sticky strip there. So you have a little bit of a seam in it, and I did start at the bottom part of my candle to do it. So that's what your candle will look like when you have your stamped image on there, and then your little trim around the edge of it. And I do have a box that's all put together. You actually, for the top of my box, I have used a, this will be really hard for you to see, but I used a window sheet. If you don't have a window sheet, you can substitute it with an overhead transparency piece of paper. Normally when I'm making a box, I would make my lid larger than the bottom of my box. But because this is a transparency and not a piece of cardstock, it works out best and will fit the tightest if you make the top of your box the same size as the bottom of your box. So for this particular box, I did cut both the window sheet and the rich raspberry cardstock at 5 7/8 inches by 2 5/8 inches. And I scored both of them a 1/2 inch on all 4 sides. So what I'm going to do is to just put my 3 candles in here. I want a nice tight little fit in there. I'm going to make sure that they're all nice and straight, just how I want them. And then I'm just going to put my lid right on the top of it. And I did for this one, it really will fit over there very, very nicely. Except for when I want to demonstrate with it. Okay. Got it down there. I did use a piece of ribbon to tie this, the top on with. And for this particular box, I've used a piece of 5/8 inch rich raspberry taffeta ribbon. And it is cut, let's see how big I cut that. I cut it at 12 inches. So it is exactly the length of one ruler. And what I'm going to do then is I want it to go this way around the middle of it, of my box. So I'll try and keep it out there so you can see it. I'm just going to take the tops and line them up so that I know I have the same amount of ribbon on each side. So I'm just holding the ribbon together in the middle and measuring to see that it's even up here and meets. And then I'm going to take my bottom piece of ribbon and bring it over the top. And then I'm going to do that again. I'm going to take the bottom piece again and just bring it over the top. So I'm making a little knot there. And once I have my knot in it, I'm going to loop one side up so I have like a little kind of bunny ear there. And this piece on my left I'm going to take and wrap around behind there. And then I'm going to just pull it right out in front and slip it through the little hole. When I get it through there, I'm just going to pull it so that it gets tight. Once I get it tight, I'm going to bring it down and make the loops the size that I want them to be. I just want to make sure that that's going to lay real nice and straight there across the top of my box. And then when I have it there, I'm just going to take my ribbon scissors and trim off each side. And I'm going to trim it a little bit of an angle so it has kind of a fancier little cut to it there. And I'm just going to kind of eyeball them to get them even. That one needs to lose a little more on the top. So there you have it. Real quick and easy box pattern. I like to put a clear lid on mine so that everybody can see what's inside it and they get all excited about it. The measurements for this size box, and I put the box together the same exact way as I did for the long box. And for this size box, it will hold 4 tea lights. And your template for that box is 4 1/4 inches by 4 1/4 inches. So it is going to be a square box, 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. And again, I scored all of my edges at 1/2 inch all the way around. I've done some other ones too that I'll just show you to give you some more ideas. This one I used the snowflake from Snow Swirled, and I stamped that right directly onto my tissue paper. And this one I used the same stamp set, only stamped this one in Regal Rose. And then this one I did with a flower for all seasons. And you can see I've wrapped my tins in this one in the red paper that was put through my embossing folder and made a green box and then just added a little red ribbon to it. So there you have it. There's some quick and easy projects that you can make for your holiday gift giving. I hope you enjoyed your visit to the Rubber Room this week for Watch It Wednesday, and I'd like to see you back next week. Thanks. Bye.